Look, back camera, back out. Okay, you can barely see me, so I'm going to raise the shades. It's weird because I thought that the little bit of light that's drifting in from there might be enough, but apparently it's not. I'm not living life, but I'm living right. Oh, baby, baby. I just washed, conditioned, and blow dried my hair. I still need to grease it and some other things. They got mad about my shower. They got really mad about my shower, and they started removing energy from my face. So my face doesn't look like it would after I shower normally. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. It's taking its time. Hold on. Uh, oh, I'm gonna have a piece of steak in my teeth. This video is about short-term and long-term memory. Short and long-term memory. How much you can recall of your day. So look, I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, what my short-term memory is like. So if I were telling you the objective is to tell everything that you can recall from the day. I didn't have any sleep. So that makes it a little difficult to differentiate how far back I want to go. Let me think about that for a moment. I mean, there's things that I wanted to journal about that took place at 3, 4, and 5 a.m. It was about a little before 8 a.m. that I actually got up and got going. We're going to start right there when I got up and I got going. So I finally decide to stop chasing sleep. I realize that they're going to go on and on with their normal shit. Right now, they're attacking some of the ligaments and muscles in my mouth to affect the way that I pronounce words and to make my speech slur a little bit. It's causing my tongue to almost act as if it's swollen when it's not, and it's hitting the roof of my mouth and the base like in a way that it normally doesn't. And you can hear it in the way that I'm pronouncing these words that you've seen it in the past. So I decide to stop chasing sleep. I get up and I look for something to wear. While I'm looking for something to wear, I grab any last minute things that I can, or that are around the house that I think might also need to get washed. When I do laundry, I make sure I get everything. Like, that means that everything is clean. There's nothing not, like, and that's down to like a throw or a comforter or something like that. I didn't do comforters today, but I look for any last minute things because I was only going to do these 2 loads, but I was like, I needed to make it as full of 2 loads as I could. So I grabbed like the rag that I normally use in the kitchen. The dish, it's not a dish rag. It's the other one, the one you dry your hands on and maybe use to take something out the oven. Grab that. Grab the clothes that I took off when I showered last night, that were laying near the furnace. I went and I looked out my windows. I looked out the office room window at the yard, and I looked out of the spare bedroom window at the yard. When I was looking at the yard, I was assessing the yard, assessing like what it may need or require of me anytime soon. So I just got to my last day of cutting the day before yesterday, and when I was assessing it, I was like, assessing which parts were growing quicker than others, and when I might need to attend to them. So I'm done with that. I come into the living room where my big bed is, and I did that before. Then I covered it with plastic, and that other bed is covered with plastic also. But I'm going to be sleeping in that spare bedroom tonight. I haven't slept in there probably a little over a month or so. And I'm going to plastic this couch. And you can imagine that's because I'm approaching a time where I'm going to be away from my house for a little bit. And so it wasn't that. When I went in there, I was looking at the window. I was thinking, so, since the 7th of April, my front door has been locked shut without the handle. So both the paint is kind of keeping it stuck, and then there's the lock itself. I took the handle off when I was painting it. I talk about that on the 7th in the journal entry, and in the videos. There's videos that day because it was also a yard day. But I haven't been able to use that door since then. I have not been able to use my front door since then, so I've only been using my back door. So but whenever I go shopping, because I hate the bitch out bag and her boyfriend and their company, and to avoid the nosy bitch, like they be trying to claim my activity and behavior as it is, I make sure I leave my front window unlocked when I leave. Since then, and I put everything inside from the front, and I also enter that way sometimes when I'm outside and I'm out about my property. Sometimes I come in through the front window just because I'm a kid. But okay, today I make sure I unlock it. I come in here and I look around, and I'm making sure there's nothing that I might want to take with me. I decide that I have one too many things, and I'm going to use this pink hamper that's normally over there with a throw and a sheet in it. So I empty it, and I put the things that I have in there. I started using my wallet again today. And I started using my wallet again today because I was going to be withdrawing cash, and I haven't been keeping cash on me. I haven't been So I decided I'm going to be using my wallet. I take it out. I retrieve it from the drawer over there. I take out what I don't need that's in it, which is like cards, business cards and stuff from pretty much when I first moved in last year. And then I put in, my driver's license, my debit card, and what little cash I had on me already. And I throw that in the pink basket. And I grab my cell phone, I turn it off, and I throw it in the pink basket. So my iPhone was off when I left on purpose, was making sure they couldn't pull any of the location manipulation stunts. Um, you heard all that before. So I exit my back door. When I exit my back, before I exit my back door, no, I exit my back door. I take that basket to the car, and I ended up dumping it into the other basket, so into the bigger basket. And I bring it back inside right away. I remember the feds talking about it too. They were like, she's going to take us back inside. She know we want to go back inside. And I come back in my back door, and now I'm kind of like debating shoes. Okay, like, because I didn't want to, for some reason, the last time I was at, it wasn't the last time, but one of these times recently, and for some reason that was at the front today, like, that they injured my toe, probably because it still hasn't healed, with a buggy. So I'm like, I don't want to wear flip-flops, and I'm looking for one of these brown shoes, and I'm like, which of the two? Because one of the two I used to, when I would walk through the yard with it, it has like this stain on it. It had a stain on it. It's weird because it's like, it's not a substance. It's not a. It's not. It just made the shoe dark around the bottom, like, so like sometimes when you wear a certain type of boot, like a Timberland or something, maybe if you don't waterproof them, you walk through wet grass or something with them, it'll leave stains. Those shoes are the same. So I get the pair that doesn't have the stain, but I decided I'm going to try to wash the ones that have a stain, because I'm like, maybe this will come out. And so I throw them in my dorm size room washer. I get that load going before I go. And it's not even a load. It's just the shoes. the two shoes in there. And it's running. And I leave. And I go outside. I get in my car. I start it. Again, making sure I have everything, okay? Like, I'm like, returns, they wouldn't let me think about it. Putting those rocks in my trunk, in the trunk of my car, was one of the things that I did last night. So in those wee hours, so 3-4 a.m. or something, because I sat outside so just a little before 3 a.m. And before I came in, I put them in the trunk of the vehicle so that if I decided to go out today, that I have them on me to do the return. But I did not pack the other item, and it did not come to mind. So I get in the car. I'm not listening to music when I depart like I normally would, because I turned my phone off. And I take off. I don't go right here to the corner. I decide to go down the street, traveling west on East Baker. And then I make a left onto Seminole. Osage. Seminole. Osage. Seminole. North Osage. Seminole. I make a left onto Osage. And I take Osage to the street before Main Street. And I go out, and it's weird because, like, when I'm traveling out this way, there's a house like falling apart, literally, like, it's deteriorating in its structure, it's folding, and I always make it a point, and someone lives there, and that's one of the guys that normally rides by here occasionally when the going gets tough for the feds. They send him this way. In the green pickup. But I always take note, like a mental note of what type of condition is in. And one of the occupants, I've never seen before, female type, it just so happens to be outside, and she's like waiting on the dog. The dog is in the middle of using the bathroom. And there's a large pickup, like one of those big dualies, like that take up a lot of the road. So I don't have my whole side of the road. Like Have I told you I haven't slept in a bunch of days? Anyways, I don't have my whole side of the road, and it's a black male in there. It looks like it's a black male, which was strange because you, I don't. And he was kind of keeping his head down, and that's kind of why I couldn't get a real ID. And it wasn't like I was trying to ID him either, but it's just part of me paying attention to my surrounding. Like, say for example, if like something happened, he went inside and murdered them. Like, and I passed them earlier, and then someone nearby has surveillance and they see me pass, but they never see him go that way. Like, he never triggers their surveillance, he never reaches it. But I'm coming in a direction that does, and they're like, the last person they saw is me. I could be like, no, there was a pickup, a big black, dark gray pickup there with dark tint, and a male in it with short hair. So I get to the stop sign and I make a left, and I take whatever road that is right there up to Main Street, and I take Main Street down to 177. And when I get to 177, I make a left on the 177. So I'm sitting there and I'm waiting, and someone's taking their time coming from the left. And I'm like, I'm trying to time the vehicles, like the traffic, because I'm just trying to get on my way. And I noticed that they're kind of taking their time, and they were taking their time so much so that I had enough time to like beat the vehicle that was coming from the right, and go ahead and jump in traffic and switch lanes. I didn't stay in the left lane. I switched and got into the right lane and continued on 177. When I got to the stop sign, that intersection, that main intersection right there, right before the gas station, and it's where, like, I think that's 5-9. I think that's 5-9 that we cross right there. I never take it a lot. One direction goes to Juanetta, and when I do take it, I take it to go to Purcell. I never go to Kanawha much. I've only been out that way once, when I went to the post office when I first got here to do my verification for USPS, informed delivery. So crossing at that intersection, that main intersection, a pickup pulls up. A pickup is on my left. I told you I managed to get into traffic and switch lanes. There's a pickup on my left. He's turning left at the intersection while I continue forward, but he pulled up, and then he purposefully pulled up and blocked my sight, so I couldn't see, and I was next to go. We ended up going at the same time. So I recall specifically him blocking my sight and me having to pull up some more. But it's no sooner than I pulled up and stopped, it was time for us to go, and we both end up going at the same time. So I take 177, I keep straight. And this is a straight shot to ADA, Oklahoma. Straight shot from here. I'm in traffic. Was there anything that took place in traffic that stood out to me? Yeah, right away. Soon as we got out of the 55 mile an hour range and we're approaching the 65 mile an hour range, like, there were two mini SUVs, and they were speeding, and I can't recall the color, and that's abnormal. And I think that's happening right now because of how much details I'm revealing, and they're doing it just to sabotage me. But too many SUVs, and I'm like, damn, why are they speeding like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we picking up and getting up to 65, but damn, like, why are they speeding like that? So I get in the I get over and get in the right lane because there's one in front and one in back, and they're kind of keeping this thing. And I get in the far right. There's only 2 lanes. Oh, they're attacking my back so bad. Every time I lay down and try to sleep, they lie and say that I'm sleeping and attack me the whole time. It makes me so angry. And I'm just throwing that in there because you have to imagine if it's been like 4 or 5 days, however long since I slept, that's something that's taken place over and over again, and it's taking place during the day and it's taking place at night. And when you read my journal entries, you'll see there's times where like I'm just trying to make sure, for the sake of not having any error or injury, that I don't do anything. I just rest, even though they're not allowing me to sleep. So that means I will lay and do nothing and just chase it and try, and they'll attack the entire time. Um, on my back. They're really landing on my back right now. Too many SUVs. I get in the right lane. After they pass, I get behind them. And then I'm rolling with them. But it's 65. I won't do more than 5 over. You know, on this particular road, even when it's like the flow of traffic, I just don't get with it. And everyone knows how I love speed, but it's just it doesn't feel right. And so, and I often feel like, anyways, none of that matters. So they're speeding. I'm keeping with them at first, but this is in the beginning. Okay, so I'm like, okay, we get up to 70, but then I'm at 70 and I'm like, y'all must be going 74, 75, because some distance is growing between us. And I left it at that. And, you know, I just kept my speed, not feeling pressed or pressured because no one's behind me trying to do what they're doing. You know, so I drive. Then I get near the city. Past the gas station, past that state office, past Dollar General. And I'm in a 55 mile an hour zone now. And as soon as I'm coming on to, I think it's 3 West, 3 East, you merge onto it, like you either go like that, this way or that way. Soon as I get in that lane to merge onto there, a car like jumps behind me and it's kind of like on my tail, and it follows me like to, where was I when that car finally turned off? It gets behind me. It follows it. I'm like, where was I? I think I was by Love's. So I've entered the city, or that municipality, the town. I've entered a small town. And it gets in the left lane and turns left right there at that Love's gas station. I've been to that Love's gas station like twice, and I don't go there because they don't have my gas. They don't have premium. They don't have 91. So there's really no need for me to ever to go there. I keep on. Hold on. So I continue on. I see a hope. And after I see the hobo on the bike, I'm only distracted and my attention is drawn away from it because I see another, like a hobo couple, and she has a stroller and she has on an odd outfit and it's dirty. I'm just like looking. When I looked, That was the impression I got. I just took a record of that. Had a baby and a guy with her. Large. And the outfit, and that's kind of what made the outfit a little weird. Witchy. Um, Gypsy like. Black and white stripe. And then like knee high, have kind of like it was above the knee, like thigh, but not thigh high stockings. Anyways, I continue on. I remember noting to myself, like, damn, this whole time I haven't seen any police. And then I see the police. And I come to the light where I'm going to be turning, going to Taco Bell. Breakfast was the objective. You know, breakfast has been under attack for a long time. And it's been days ago that I planned on making breakfast here at home, just to use up the last little bit of bacon. Because recall, I was feeding the bacon to the dog and the cat, the 3 dogs and the cat, that night outside. And ever since then, they've been making sure I don't touch it. I haven't touched it. I haven't had a piece since then. But I made sure that when I was feeding them, that I left me 1 serving, 3 slices. So that if I wanted, just thinking ahead, like that Saturday or Sunday. It's Tuesday now. That Saturday or Sunday, I was supposed to make myself breakfast, and I did. Breakfast was the objective. So I'm like, because everything's so far away, I'm going to get 2 breakfasts, and I'll have 1 for tomorrow. Because having ribeye and roasted potatoes first thing, I mean, it's good. It's delicious, and that's something I could normally do, but with the way that my appetite is being attacked, they're not allowing it. Like, I have to go through too much to get to it. Because they're worried about who is going to show on during those morning hours, and they try to make sure that I don't consume anything until 2. It's gotten later. It used to be 2 p.m. and now they're shooting for 4 or 5 p.m. So, I switch lanes. Somebody jumps right behind me while I turn onto the street that leads me to the south entrance of Taco Bell's parking lot. I pull in and I park. And then a guy arrives shortly after me, parks 1 parking space away. And his car is really beat up. I'm talking about like the bumper is tore off. Like the bumper has damage. The bumper can be front or back. Front and back bumper have damage. Like, it's just the little red beater had a lot of damage. And I remember them regarding my car as such. Regarding my Mercedes is that he went inside and he didn't get anything. And they later called him my dad. And he kind of walked like him. If you've I can't find the word I'm looking for. It's not demeanor, but it resembled his walk. A white male. I go in, and I remember cussing at the government, because first thing I see on Taco Bell's screen is LeBron's face. And I'm like, I will never motherfucking come to another Taco Bell behind this shit. Like, what, going off on them about it. And I placed my order. It came to $4.83. And he comes out. Oh, wait, back up. When I come in, there's a black female there, elder, middle age. Maybe she's been rolled hard. Middle age. she's mopping. Her and she noticed. I look up and notice that she's noticing me, and we smile at each other. I go to the stand, place my order, and I begin to I'm not pasting, but I'm walking, back and forth, slow, and just kind of taking in. I had never been inside that Taco Bell, taking in the way the arrangement of the room, and I recall thinking to myself, why more and more, I shun and try to stay away from fast food. And I remember smelling a smell in the room that made me think that something back there had to be unclean. And I'm like, these cooks and, the smell made me think that equipment was unclean. And that stemmed into, this is what I'm thinking about as I'm walking back and forth, and that stemmed into me thinking about, and I haven't observed anyone behind the counter really. No one. I wasn't looking at them and analyzing them or anything. I was just in general, the type of candidate for fast food. And how there's been a shift in candidates for fast food, and how I've noticed the type of fast food employees that they have in that area specifically. I've seen some things that I really disagree with. So the guy, he comes out of the restroom and he goes outside to his car, and I'm standing there, and I'm standing just still now, in thought, but he comes out and he's going to his car, and I'm wondering, I'm like, why is he walking at that angle and not really drifting towards his car? Is the thought I recall having. And then I look a little further, and I'm paying attention to his stride and his walk, and I'm like, he does kind of walk and he gets in his car and he takes off. After he takes off, I begin to stare at the back of my car beneath it, because I told you there's actual damage that the federal government did to my car, associated with the motor. And you can see it, on my property, it's hillside. So depending on how I park, you can't see it, but if I park in a certain way, you would be able to notice it. So I'm looking at the damage and I'm assessing it, because I refuse to I'm out, bitch. I'm on my way out. And he calls my name. A white male comes to the counter, and he says TQ. And I'm like, yeah. He said, here you go, have a good morning. And I said, thank you. You too. And I grabbed the bag. Street smoking, Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Really? That's how y'all feel? Put my mind on my money and my money on my mind. So I'm like, I grab the bag and I go. I get in my car and I situate my music. So, that's something. When I was at the light, approaching, crossing from the interstate, it's not an interstate, the state route, crossing from the state route into the small town, when I was doing that, I was playing Waka Flocka, Do It With No Hands, and I had just transitioned to that song from I think, Couple Bands by Fetty Wap. And I'm angry and I'm mad. Like, I ain't had no sleep. And I'm exhausted as fuck. Like, I am really tired. I'm very, very, very fucking tired. You can't even imagine how exhausted I feel. Okay? And during that time, my eyes were really heavy. So, but this song comes on, and I'm rapping and I'm singing. And then I bust out dancing, and the feds get mad and they go off. And you know why. They said it contradicts with who they were calling me. And that I keep doing things that tell who I am. It was midway that I turned my phone on. So I go off. And it made me smile and made me laugh. It made me smile and it made me laugh, and it made them mad. So, anyways, from Taco Bell, I had placed an order at McDonald's. That was the breakfast I was going to have, and it was a steak. So what I got from Taco Bell was a California breakfast wrap, avocado, bacon, egg, hash brown, and tomato. I don't think it's bikini sauce. Anyways, I placed an order because the McDonald's breakfast is the one that I'm having, and I purchased a steak and egg McMuffin, steak, egg, and cheese McMuffin with a hash brown and a Diet Coke. So now I'm en route there. And I remember when I merged into the lane, this is type of error I'm talking about. And it's not a real error, it's harmless. But I remember taking note of it. I remember, like, when I merged into that lane that just bends naturally at Crazy Corner, I used my blinker to get into it, and I didn't need to use my blinker. I was just almost, and it wasn't that I was being overly cautious either. It just, happened. So I go, and now I'm on Arlington Street, and you can imagine all the motherfucking trouble and drama that comes with that street, okay? And at first, when I first moved here, I didn't take it. I used to go the long way around. But I always pass it, not knowing that I was passing it. Not knowing that I was passing it, because, like, I had heard about it in conversation. Like checking out or something. Someone would mention it to me, or I remember one time, this is how I came across that information. I asked one of the Walmart employees after I self-checked out. We were talking about driver's licenses and what they cost, and getting them renewed and stuff like that. And I asked, was there a DMV near here? And she told me it was on Arlington Street. That's how I found out. And that's how I found out they had Arlington Street. And right away, when I left, I went off on the fucking government, because I knew what they was up to and why they were always trying to send me there and make sure I went there. So I drive, and now I'm at the stoplight before turning. I'm going to that McDonald's, and I turn my music down a little bit, because the way that the feds were painting it was like the bass was drawing abnormal attention. And I didn't turn it down because of that. I don't care. Like, I always, I play my music loud all the motherfucking time. That's always my mood. But when I feel like they're really trying to place some focus on me, or single me out, or paint me as suspicious, I turn it down a little bit and begin to pay attention, because I feel like there's something that they're moving in on me and I just don't see it yet. And most of the time, 9 times out of 10, soon after will come a cop. Ouch, my elbow. Man, it's longer than I thought. Thought this was going to be quick. Short-term memory. This is all short-term stuff. And if anything left an imprint, obviously, like, and I'm not talking about, like, let's say being cut off. Like, any of this stuff, you can ask me up to 3 to 5 days. It's short-term memory. Don't none of it mean, some of it does. I'm being gang stalked, so, but I'm not talking about how that's connected to any of this. I'm just saying, like, all these are just not things that you would normally note. Not things that you would normally speak about. Not things that it's just things that you're kind of unconsciously taking in. But there's those other things. Think about it like a hard and a soft inquiry, credit check. Like if I got into an argument with somebody, you can imagine that's going to leave an impression. And then you can ask me about that a year from now and I'll still be able to, like, yeah, man, one motherfucking day I was at that bitch and they had the nerve of motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? Like that. But the soft inquiry ain't like that. It's just the shit that don't matter really most of the time. Until a crime is committed and it's brought into question. Hard and soft inquiry. So with that being said, I think you get the gist of where I'm going with this, and I don't really need to tell you the rest of the day, because that could take me another 15, maybe 20 minutes to talk about what else I did and what else I noticed and what else happened. I did a return. I went in Walmart 3 separate times. And then came across one of their little handicap employees. And she was trying to mislead me. The demon was trying to mislead me. Lead me away from what I was looking for. And I'm talking about the left her post. Like, it's just like, they don't really have a post. This is in the garden area. They don't really have a post, but she was chilling at the motherfucking door in her seat. I asked her one question and, she got it up. But she saw that I didn't carry on and accept it, so she continued to talk. She was making small talk and I was being polite, allowing her to talk as I continued to walk and look. And then that went to outside. And I'm like, there's something I'm missing. And I asked her already, was there another place that I could look? Like, were there some other stuff? And then, not even thinking about it, they always have that slew of stuff in the parking lot. That's what I was looking. That's where what I was looking for was. She never once pointed at it, tried to distract me, and made sure that I didn't look at it. I had to get away from her to look around me and be like, let me check over here. And that's where it was. But that's all some other you know what I'm saying? Like, mentioning hard and soft inquiries should have put what I'm getting at into perspective. And like I said, this information is normally available for 3 to 5 days with me. Like, it's just before it becomes vague, or either they remove it. And when they remove it, I know it's been removed and that it's being blocked, because there will otherwise be no reason why I shouldn't be able to reference, regard, or recall it. My English class started today. And when I said I wasn't going back to college, I meant it.